Welcome back to Sick and Serving with Haley Faye Rosenthal and Rini K.
We are now doing our lyric breakdown. This is my brand new song called Roulette, and I wrote it with She Is Jules, who is an absolutely incredible songwriter, co-writer, friend. Love her so much.
Gotta get her on the show.
Yes, we absolutely do.
Podcast. I can't wait for us to start guesting people. It's gonna be great.
Yes, yes. But yes, so with Roulette, here is some tea about this song. So, and also for all of y'all that are watching this episode is filmed before I started marketing any of it publicly. But the way that I have been marketing it, or wait, pause. The way that I am going to be marketing it, but now y'all are seeing it. So the way that I have been marketing it is that Roulette is about a toxic relationship. But there is tea because I didn't specify the type of toxic relationship that I am talking about in this song. And that's what y'all are about to find out right now.
I'm locked in. I don't even know this. And you should know this too.
So online I've just been marketing it as like a regular toxic relationship, to keep it generic. This song is actually about the music industry. Da da da. Um, and yeah, so now that you know that little piece of information, let's chat about the lyrics. Let's go. So first,
what do you think?
verse one, burning all my bridges, going into debt. So right off the bat here, with when you think about like the music industry and you're like a starving artist, you have to do some like whack ass shit all the time. And there are going to be quite a few people in your life that just like will not understand it and will not agree with it, whether it be financial, whether it be like, how you are choosing to like promote your art or etc. Like, and because of that, sometimes it can get to the point where like, yes, people can like learn to live with it, whatever. But there are other times when people are just like, I have to take a step back because like I can't be a part of this. So that's what that line is referring to, burning all my bridges, going into debt. When I when I wrote the song with Jules, I had like just gotten out of some credit card debt. And it was like fucking it. Thank you. Girl, never again. Never the fuck again. But like I went into that debt because like I was funding my career and I was just gambling on myself and like thank fucking God it ended up working out. Because I paid it off like through music. Thank God. But like it was still like very scary because I'm like gambling on myself and like you don't know what the outcome is going to be, which is kind of where like the title Roulette came from. And tearing out my stitches to play Russian roulette. So yeah, it gets like really deep when I start comparing the music industry to a game of Russian roulette.
I love it.
Um, but but yeah, so tearing out my stitches to play Russian roulette, like you're just like you're bearing your soul for like everyone and their mothers to see. And you're essentially like you're everyone says like, oh, like the people that make it, it's 1 in a million. And so that's kind of what I was referring to when I was talking about Russian roulette. Gambling with the devil might make me a success. So that line comes from all of the crazy shit that has come out about the music industry and like certain people. And I'm not like gonna name names because like I'm scared.
Y'all know who we're talking about.
Thank you, Beyonce. Wait, actually, cut that part out.
Can you tell us? So you're talking about all the crazy, how it's like crazy stuff you do for your art, crazy stuff you do for your career. Can you tell us what is the craziest thing you've done, maybe like in public or craziest like bet you've done for your music? Is there like a vivid memory that comes to mind? Crazy story time?
Oh, I mean, like in terms of like making content for my art or like funding. Where are we going? Because there's like different types of crazy that we can do.
I'm thinking the one that'll entertain the people the most, the ones that the fans want to know, is content.
Okay, so I feel like the craziest stuff that I've done. I mean, like y'all have seen it. I am walking with like my full fucking chest, like I am strutting the streets of New York City, with my full chest, lip singing to my songs. And I have people like you can't hear it in the background because like obviously like it's muted because like the audio is
Right.
the sound audio is over, but like there are bitches honking at me. There are bitches screaming at me, catcalling me, telling me like, "Yes, honey," like or like, throwing stuff at me. Like you don't see that part in any
Yeah,
just
that
because
gets in post.
yeah, like you have to like realize, yes, it does look cool like, on social media, whatever. But like realize I am like fully in the streets of New York City, lip singing to my music. And everything that you see going on in the background is real. So yeah, I mean like I would say that that's probably like one of the crazier things I've done for content. And like, it works. So fuck it. But yeah, and then in terms of like finances, um I'm not gonna say a number because like I scared, but I scared of judgment, just a little. But I so before Me Attacking Me came out, which was like really like the song that introduced me to the majority of my fan base, and I'm so 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 grateful for that. But like in the back of my mind, when like right before I released that song, I had a gut feeling. I can't explain it, but like I knew that that song was so special, and
Yeah.
I knew I needed to put like everything into it, not just like my ability to like write the song or perform the song or whatever, but just like everything into that song. So like the performance, writing, and the finances.
Yeah.
I had a credit card and a dream. um
Quote that on a t-shirt. She's a credit card and a dream.
Credit card and a dream. And I spent a lot more money than I probably should have on the marketing. But at the same time, it worked. It really,
Right.
really, really worked. And I'm so grateful for that because it did end up paying for itself. But if you were to like look, maybe I'm gonna say that it was manifestation. Because I
Yeah.
knew that it was gonna work. I had this gut feeling. But like if you were looking at like all of the shit on paper and you saw me spending the type of money that I was spending on this, like just on this release, you would have thought I was fucking crazy. But it ended up working out for me. So you know what? Fuck it. It's manifestation. But a very, very, very scary gamble that I took on myself. That
Yeah.
but again, and that goes back to the first line, actually burning all my bridges, because for a time it actually it affected my relationship with my mom a lot, because she was looking at the way I was running my business on paper, and she's like, I can't, like, I love you and I can't, like, I can't get behind this, truly.
Right.
Like I have to take a step back from the, because like what the fuck, you're like ruining yourself. But now, I mean, like she's seeing like, the money that's coming in and everything, and like she sees like, it's all paid off, and she's like, okay, well, I don't know how the fuck that happened, but Kiki, let's go. So you the thing about the music industry, and I don't even want to just like focus it just on the music industry. I feel like if you're just like an artist in general, you need to be comfortable taking these very scary gambles on yourself, because no one else is going to gamble on yourself more than you, because no one else is going to believe in yourself as much as you do. And like you have to just like have this gut feeling like, yeah, like I am a star and I know that I'm going to make it. And everything that I'm doing right now in this moment is leading up to the moment when like the rest of the world realizes that
Right.
everything that I already know about myself. It's not narcissism, it's manifestation.
I
Like,
think the way you have to look at it is it's like no one judges, or I mean, people do judge small businesses all the time, but it's not the same kind. When you tell someone I'm going to be an entrepreneur, you know, it's normal for you to go invest all your assets into that. and frankly, the way the business has turned is artists, like independent artists, developing artists, pre-label deal, pre-publishing deal, pre any sort of, management backing, whatever, they are small businesses. And you have to, like any small business, it takes money to make money. So the way that you're investing in yourself, or the way I might invest in myself, is no different than someone going to buy inventory from their small business, going to buy advertising for their small business, and then really hoping that an investor will see the potential that they've created through proof of concept. It used to be where, and we could go down this rabbit hole. Like, obviously, I want to get back to your breakdown, but there's, it used to be essentially where, you would artists didn't really have an avenue to do this. So it was kind of like you would really hope that the right person sees you at the right time. And that's kind of like you would go from 0 to 100 there. Nowadays, you kind of have to channel out all the noise and put yourself in a vacuum and create for yourself and develop yourself, as if almost betting that no label ever comes by. You gotta, it's like that mindset you have to truly get to a point where any financial backing's ever going to be interested in you. You quite literally have to have a proof of concept ready to go, like an investor would expect from a small or mid-sized business. And
Yeah.
that's just what it is now. And I think it's so easy for people to judge artists because it's not a traditional business setup. The product is a person, the product is someone's essence, someone's art, versus a lipstick, versus a course. It's so different, but that is the way now. And, as crazy as it is, frankly, if it was in any other context, would people really be calling it that crazy?
No,
You gotta ask. Yeah. But anywho, I think that's a very interesting insight.
this industry could kill me, but I'm not finished yet. So that's just yeah, that's just me being like, like this it's essentially just like highlighting the fact that there's a lot of toxic parts of this industry. Um, but I'm not finished yet because like I love it so much. And like and like going back to like comparing it to a toxic relationship. I love writing music so much. I love that my fans love my music and I love being able to say that like my fan base is growing every single day. And like the glitz and the glam that you see on the outside of this industry is just like it is just the surface of what the music industry really is, because like the business side of the music industry is where a lot of really weird stuff starts happening. And that's part of the reason why like you'll hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, if you can imagine yourself doing literally literally anything else, and like you can envision yourself being happy doing that, do that." Because like yeah, you can love writing songs and you can love like like the performance element of the music industry, but you have to love it so much to be able to put up with the rest of the bullshit.
You have to love it to the point where you're okay with the fact that you might not love it in the way you used to. You have to, I like for something, the reason why, like, I'm sure Haley can relate to this is, you and I have a lot of other things going on. We're both also actors. We're both, I'm currently in school for marketing. Like we have a lot of aspects of our lives, not just the music industry, but you almost kind of have to, because it gets to a point where your music songwriting is no longer just a fun hobby for you. It is now your job. You have to treat it like a job, even though you're getting paid nothing initially. You have to clock in like it's a job, and you have to love it to the point where you're willing to your love for the idea of a music career has to outweigh your love or the potential resentment you might get from having to treat it like a job, you know? Otherwise, I always tell people, I'm like, listen, if you can die happy as this being a hobby, like, be my guest, because it is definitely to a point where you have to be willing. When I was a little kid, music was what I did after school for fun. And that was, there was no strings attached. And that's not to say that it's still my number one love. I still adore every writing session. It's my favorite part of what I do. And It's my favorite, part of what Haley and I do together is our writing sessions. Always will be. Never have lost that love whatsoever.
Yeah.
However, you do have to treat it like a job. And that is what makes it different from it becoming like this pure hobbyist love. It turns into like, all right, I love this. This is my passion, but now I have to start thinking differently about it. And it's like, can you live with that? A lot of people can't live with that, and it's completely understandable, and I respect people that can acknowledge that and be like, you know what? I'm not going to complain that I have to go and do all this business stuff for it to be a career. I'm going to let it be the hobby that I want it to be for myself.
Yeah. But no, for this song is really about me being like coming to terms with like, yeah, fuck, like I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it like really big. And like, yeah, there's really shitty parts of this business, but there's also like a lot of really shitty parts of like everything, like I feel like if there is like 100% good in anything that like you really love, then like you don't really know the thing that you really love, because like you can, I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like,
I think it makes sense because it's like, like we were saying before, it's like before I mean, I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. Before I was really an artist, but I knew I wanted to be an artist. But before, this was like middle school, Rini, I genuinely, the delusion I had, Haley, was insane. I was like,
manifestation.
I manifestation, I was like, I'm 12 years old and I'm writing songs. That means people are going to care about me. No. No. I quickly learned when I was 14 and started putting stuff out. I was like, oh shoot. So me just existing and putting music out into the world means absolutely nothing to most people. So at that point, that's when I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, things, I'm not gonna call it resentment, but that's when like, the shift happened at that like ripe age of 14. It was like, oh shoot. So this is Instagram. You need to know how to use this platform. And no, being 12 and putting out an album isn't enough. That's when you start to learn this stuff. And it's like, I genuinely thought that, that was what it was. That's the industry. I thought, okay, I'm young and I write music. And at the time I thought, oh, this is great music. So you think that's good enough when frankly, that's just the beginning. And that's an example of where my naivety and my ignorance kind of skewed me initially. Luckily, I quickly learned, but like, you could argue I did not know what I love at that point because that was what I genuinely thought it was. I didn't see the negatives, and I don't know if I would necessarily call all the business a negative, but there's certainly aspects of it that are, and that I didn't know them yet because I genuinely the optimism of me saw otherwise.
Yeah, we love you, Rini. But yeah, so now we are going to the chorus. So,
Yes.
how much can I take till I break? So at this point when I wrote this, I so not about to get emotional. So
Time.
when I wrote this, I had gotten a not great paycheck from one of my survival jobs that week, and I had to make the decision about whether or not I wanted to go to the grocery store or to a production session. And I chose the production session. And I'm not trying to like glorify that by any means, by the way, like just, and I feel like that's important to like
Right.
say in this episode, like, because I don't want to like promote that type of behavior.
Of
At,
course. Yeah.
um, but like that is where I was at, because like this is just, I don't want to blame the music industry for that because this is my experience with the music industry. But I had a deadline that I wanted to get a song out by, and I couldn't I couldn't change that deadline for myself because I I know where I want my end goal to be, and this is just a step for me to get to that end goal, and I didn't want to postpone that end goal by going to get groceries. And that's where my mind was. And that's how like that's how financially drained and sick I was at that time while I was writing this song. I'm getting emotional. But yeah, so like literally like I like Jules and I were both like sobbing during this session.
That is so real. That is so real.
Granola bar like while I was writing this, and I was like, yeah, I have like 5 days left, and I was like, but I'm going to my production session, like handshaking. But yeah, so how much can I take till I break? I swore to my younger self I'd stay. Um, and at that point, I had like just I had a Facebook memory pop up of like I think it was like 12-year-old me. And like I don't know, like I in that moment when I saw that picture of myself, I was like, oh my God, like I told her like she was gonna like keep on going and going and going no matter what. But then like I'm looking at my bank account and I'm like, oh, like I have enough willpower to keep going, but like do I have the finances to keep going? And I was like again, credit card and a dream.
Her.
Yeah,
That's or that could be the name of the episode. Serving a credit card in a dream.
yes. Swore to my younger self I'd stay, bear the weight for her sake. That's just like riffing off of that whole statement. But I'm rolling the dice with my fate. I really wanted to incorporate more like gambling elements into it because like we did say roulette before at the beginning.
Right.
And I was like, oh, like gambling terminology, fun.
Yes.
I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Let's roll the dice. So really, like Jules and I don't know like a damn thing about gambling, so we were like looking up gambling terminology on Google, like as we were writing this. Kind of like when we wrote "Running on Empty," we don't know shit about cars, and we were like, what is car lingo?
So valid.
Um, and so okay, but I'm rolling the dice with my fate. Gun to my head. We're talking about Russian roulette, so I was like, fuck it. Gun to my hospital bed. Because like if a gun's to your head, you'll probably wind up in a hospital bed.
Yeah, that'd be impressive if you didn't, or a body bag. That got dark.
He fight through all of the bloodshed. Because like if a gun's to your head in your hospital bed, there's probably
explaining the act of getting shot.
Dead ass. How can I incorporate gore?
That horror song. Forget the horror movie.
Yes, the horror. But how much can I take till I break? Is in reference to the first part of the chorus, and break means something different here. At this point, break means like till I break as an artist.
Oh.
Or if you want, you can infer it as like break, as in like
right.
down.
Multi-level meaning there.
But how much can I take till I break and stop playing Russian roulette? So I'm essentially comparing the industry to a game of Russian roulette. And originally, actually, the song was going to be called Russian Roulette. But honestly, with like all of the whack shit going on in Russia right now, I was like a wee bit nervous to include like Russia in the title straight up. So that's literally why the song is just called Roulette and not Russian Roulette. So yeah, teehee. So now verse 2. This is probably one of my favorite verses I've ever written because I was like, how can I incorporate like dark humor into this?
Oh my God. I love us. I love it. I love dark humor.
Me too. So verse 2 starts out with me saying, let's keep this between us, because I wanted to feel like we're just girlies and we're like kikiing at a sleepover. Like, let's just keep this between us, just us girls. I laugh off all my trauma to make me feel alive. Because I do.
Banger. That's, I feel like that's take it for what it is, surface value there.
Yes. People say I'm strong, but my doctor rolls his eyes.
Oh, she went off.
Yeah. So like at this point, I'm talking about my therapist. Love him. Love that bitch. What a slay. So people say I'm strong, but my doctor rolls his eyes. He just like reads me for filth all the time. And then I the next line is said the house of cards I'm building could crumble anytime. But what if in the wreckage I find a better life? So at this part, like, saying, my doctor's saying, like, like you're doing all of you're putting on this act, but like your foundation could just like crumble because he was talking about my finances at this point. And he was like, like you have to like you have to get a grip on this stuff. And then the next line, but what if in the wreckage I find a better life? This is like me responding to it, and I'm just like, okay, but like, yes, yes, and like
Yes.
in all of this drama, I like come out on top.
Exactly. Like, what if it was all worth it in the end?
Yeah, and like I still wholeheartedly believe that it will be all worth it in the end because I like literally like there's no other way that it can't be. Like
Right.
that is just like the way that I am viewing this, and like and I can't do it any other way.
You allow yourself to think in terms of plan B, you're gonna fall into plan B.
I don't have a plan B. This is it. So now we go into the chorus, same exact thing. And now we go into the bridge.
It's gonna eat, it's gonna eat when there's a Haley Faye Rosenthal bridge. Everyone get ready. Everyone brace themselves.
Say I grew up too quick and I made myself sick just to prove I deserve to exist. So at this point, I'm like kind of like paint the scene. I'm talking to myself in the mirror and I'm saying like did I grow up too quick and did I like make myself go like fucking insane? Like just to like prove I deserve to be here.
I think every artist can relate to that. We've all been in those shoes.
Yeah. Um, and then say I bled myself dry from just trying to survive in a world where the whole game is rigged. Um, so at this point, I'm saying like, did I like literally like I mean like it's I feel like that part's pretty self-explanatory. Like it's essentially saying like it's riffing off of the first part. And it's me like now like realizing that there's a lot of like questionable activity going on in an industry that I love so much. And
Yeah.
a lot of like really crazy shit that's coming out about the industry. And
Right.
I also wanted to have another excuse to use another gambling terminology that I had looked up on Google, and I was like, "Ooh, rigged." And I was like, "This is my moment to fucking shine."
I just picture you in Gremlin hours doing this.
Yes, no, literally, it was me in Gremlin hours. I was like, I had like a full bag of like that's like hoodie up,
Yeah.
like the ties of the hoodie were like zipped,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean, like they were like pulled out, and I was like how can I use the word rigged? Found it.
Yes.
Um,
Exactly.
oh yeah,
Exactly.
it repeats itself, but like with more drama, with more gusto, because I'm belting up the octave.
Of course. More drama.
More drama, more drama. And yeah, and then we go into a sexy little beat drop. And then we go into the final chorus, which is saying the exact same thing as the other choruses, but just with more drama because of the ad libs.
Always more drama. If there's one thing you take from this episode, guys, more drama is always better.
Yes. Um, but yeah, so that is actually what this song is about. And I know that I have been marketing it as a toxic relationship because it is.
It truly is. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just specific about what type of toxic relationship because I wanted y'all to interpret it in your own very special way. Um, but
It it can be anything. It could be a person, it could be a friendship, it could be school. I think a lot of academic validation girlies could relate to this song, like big time. Um, but yeah, no, I applaud it. I love it. I listen to it for fun because you sent me the master before it's out. Ha ha! I get it before all of you, um, because I'm special.
yes.
But yeah, that was incredible. I love the song so much. These are one of these songs like when they ask you like, "Oh, what's a song you wish you wrote?" This is on the list for sure.
See, I love you. Thank you.
Of course, I love you, Queen. I love you. Um, and yeah, is
I
that a
had a lot of fun making content with verse 2 and the chorus. Actually, right before we filmed this, I was making content for verse 2. I have no idea what the turnout of this is going to be. I'm saying this like as I'm recording this before this has even been posted anywhere on the internet yet. But it's just a fun verse if you have a dark sense of humor. So yeah.
Oh, it truly, I mean, it's incredible. It's so funny too. That's what's awesome about it. Like the
Oh,
Dr. Seuss's eyes comment is crazy. I love it.
thank you. Thank you very much.
So that's a wrap on serving credit card and a dream, parentheses, roulette. Make sure you follow me at Rini K Official on Instagram, Rini K Music on TikTok, Rini K Official on Snapchat, and Rini K Music on YouTube. Why did I make it so extra? Because I decided to make a different TikTok when I was 13 and I was a little stupid when I made it. That's why my life is harder.
It is.
And
But yeah, follow me at Haley F. Rosenthal everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, literally everywhere that you have social media, I am at Haley F. Rosenthal.
easy for you. I challenge you.
F. Rosenthal. Yes, so we love you guys so much. Mwah.
Mwah!
Bye.
Guys.